The purpose of this video is to introduce the options you have for manipulating your images. When you enter the settings interface and you are clicked on the image preferences, you have many options. We have already discussed the log options in another video, but now we will look at the other choices or options that you have concerning images. You will see that you have the image categories here, the images that you normally have on the left side of your window. One of the first choices that you see on the left is whether that image is visible or not. So if I take the check mark out and then apply the changes, we have just made the core category invisible. The advantage to doing something like this is that you can reduce the number of categories that you see in order to focus the student's attention on fewer images. So we will come back in here. We will make this image visible again. This can be done for any image within the categories, or of course if we enter that category, you have the exact same preferences for each one of the images within a category. To go back from that category to the main categories, we just used the back button. The other option that you have here is to change the order of the images. And so our core image is the first image. If I would like to make that the second image and then apply that change, I have now switched the action and the core categories by switching the order in which they appear. I can go back to the settings interface and I'm going to make the action second again. So they are back in the order that they were before. Another choice that you have here is to change the image, and that is going to be a separate video entirely. So we will do that a little bit later. Here you have the option to play the audio for that. That is going to be played, you know, as it does now. If I click on core, you hear it, but it's not necessary to do that. I can remove this, and if I remove that and apply the change, I click on core, and you no longer hear that. However, I have the others still available to me. All right, if I go back to the settings, just be aware that you can turn off the audio at any point in time for any image. Another choice that you have is to record a custom audio. And so for the image core, if I would like to record custom, simply click on this, core, and then I click press to stop. I would like to hear what that recording sounds like, so I can play that audio. Core. And so now the image has my own recording available. This is good for the student to hear the instructor's voice. It is also a very nice feature in case you are working with a student of a different language, and so you can record all of the images to reflect your own language, and that is true, of course, if you enter the category and can record any of those images. Now, if you're going to do that, of course, you would have to change the text. We will talk about that in just a moment. So you can record custom audio here. Another feature that you have is the border type. Currently, there is no border around this image. We're going to use action as our example in this choice. So for action, I would like to put a border around this. There are many different categories or different types and colors of borders for social phrases or requests and so forth for people. I'm moving down to actions, and I'm going to designate that actions have a green border. And you can see this here. And I'm also going to enter the category and do the same thing, so that around this image I'm going to put a green border. We'll do that for 2 of these. And apply these changes. Now you'll see a green border around the action category, and when I enter that category, action, you'll see that I've placed a green border around the action words that are in that category. Going back into the settings and looking at some of your other options that you have here, As I mentioned earlier, you may want to change the text. And so here, if we want to, for action, change the text to reflect a different language, then I can apply that change. And of course, the image here has now been reflected to a different language. And I can return to the settings. And if you do that, you can change the position also. You can make it top or middle or bottom, as you can see. There may be a time when you would not like to have any text there, and so you have no position, and that will remove the text from that. And so then you're just focusing on the image. Perhaps the student is not ready to work with text and you just want to focus on images. So then you would change it to no position for that.